So let's start at the beginning, because every beginning starts with a why, a purpose. And when we think about it, purpose defines the end every time. It shapes who we become, it shapes the choices we make, it shapes how we actually show up in everything that we do. So in this very first episode of Leader Circle, I want to start with the question, why? Why this podcast? Why now? And why does it matter, especially for you and I, right? And it's something to think about. I'm bringing you up here, and I'm also going to be talking a lot. So why is this important for both of us? We are listening to Leader Circle, a podcast for the next generation of leaders. And my name is Oba, a learning experience designer who's spent the last few years building leadership and entrepreneurship programs for young professionals, leadership teams, and change makers across global multinationals and Pan-African organizations. And through all of that work, one truth keeps showing up. We are that generation stepping into leadership quicker and faster than ever before. I'm starting Leader Circle because I've been thinking about my peers, my generation, who are suddenly stepping into leadership roles, managing teams, leading projects, building businesses, about to make that first hire. And I know, yes, and we all know that, yes, we're a talented bunch, we're driven, we're full of ideas, very innovative, but many are asking the same quiet questions of, where do I start from? What skills do I really need to build? How do I grow into this role, actually without losing myself? And for some people, it's their first time managing a team. For others, it's moving from a technical role into a leadership role. And for a few, it's basically starting something from scratch. It could be a company, a business, a passion project, a cause, bringing people together to stand for something that's meaningful for society. And this podcast exists for that, to provide a space to learn, to reflect, and to grow our leadership capacity together. And one other thing, here's the truth. 70% of what we learn about leadership doesn't come from classrooms or textbooks or even workshops. And I believe they come from experience. They come from things that have been applied in real world, real context, real world applications, basically. From failure, from the times when you hit the brick wall, from the times when you have to make tough decisions, from the times when you sit down with your colleagues and brainstorm, from the times when you sit with a mentor or a counselor or somebody who has oversight, who has seen the journey ahead. It also comes from quiet reflections from experiences that you might have had. Those are the times when the experiences in the classroom and the experiences in workshop and textbooks come alive. And more often, they also come alive from stories that you hear other people tell. How they did it, the challenges they faced, how they stood up, showed up, and exemplified the right leadership skills to address those situations. And I want to create a space that mirrors that form of learning, where we can sit with leaders, whether they are new leaders, emerging leaders, or established people who have been leading teams, organizations, and causes for a very long time. And the goal is basically to unpack the big question of how. How have you navigated through transitions? How did you navigate going from an individual contributor to leading a team? How have you managed people through the years? How have you learned to lead through uncertainty and cycles of change? How have you failed in the past? And what did you learn on the other side? These are some questions that we would basically need to explore and sit with the people who have gone ahead of us and learn how to lead teams, how to lead people, how to lead the organizations that we are in, how to step up and embrace that leadership capacity that we all have, or that we are all building, right? So if you're a young professional out there, if you're stepping into a leadership role, building a business, or trying to figure out how to lead people effectively, this podcast is for you. So maybe you struggle to identify which skills to develop, maybe you're looking for mentorship, accountability, or you are just tired of theories and want something tried and tested, something real, conversations that will make you think, reflect, and act differently. If that sounds like you, welcome to the circle. You're definitely in the right place. Over the next few weeks, we'll have guests, including leaders from various sectors, who will share their stories, the challenges, and the insight that have shaped who they are. They'll walk us through their leadership lessons, exploring what it really means to prepare for leadership, how to manage transitions, how to build influence in your teams, how to foster innovation, and basically how to grow yourself while growing others. Together, we'll unpack what leadership ought to look like in our generation. Honest, value-driven, and a leadership style that is deeply rooted in purpose. And to put all together, because I've said so many things, but here's my big reason for this podcast. It's basically to support young people and young professionals, just like you and I, in their journey of becoming well-rounded, transformational leaders who will impact their teams, their context, and society at large. So as we begin, here's a simple question I want to leave you with. What is your why? Why do you want to be a leader? What kind of leader do you want to become? What do you want to be remembered for? Once again, my name is Oba, and this is Leader Circle. If this episode spoke to you, subscribe, share with someone on the same journey, and don't forget to follow the podcast so you don't miss the next conversation. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing. Thank you.